but it's fine. All our problems started with the DA and Herman Mashaba. Do you agree on that? At the city of Johannesburg, when they were still, I mean, Mashaba was the mayor during that time. Am I right?
Look, in respect of my evidence, I think much of it started by wanting to have one person employed by all means necessary. So once you get desperate, if you want to employ Mesuli and you really go out of your own way to get Mesuli, even if Mesuli fails a competency assessment and you of a unit head, then you want to promote him to a group head. So now, it's desperation. In respect of my evidence, I wouldn't want to speak broadly because I was also brought in the city of Johannesburg by that administration. So I came in through the Mashaba administration myself.
Now, why, in your view, why the DA and Herman Mashaba in the city of Johannesburg wanted Sibiya by all means necessary?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know if he was really advised about this because I don't think he was really advised of what was happening. But yeah, well, I was not there. I don't know.
Do you think Mashaba and Sibiya were friends?
Not that I know of, Honorable Skhosana, because when Sibiya went to conduct an undercover operation against me for 3 days in the Eastern Cape, Herman Mashaba was really hurt and distraught about that because he didn't see it coming. So, and I remember in a meeting that we had, he was the first to reprimand Shadrack Sibiya. The only thing that he ought to have done is to call the police to arrest Shadrack Sibiya, and that he did not do.
Now, in paragraph, page 229, paragraph, no, I'll say C. Let's go to C. You spoke about the 5-year term fixed contract.
Page 22?
229, M229. Page 3 of 6, but 229.
Yes.
The group corporate and shared services.
Report, yes.
Yes. C, you said that the good practice for this type of position is that the contract of the incumbent is not renewed or expired to ensure the continued independence of the function, hence the incumbent to be appointed on 5-year fixed term contract.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
So they say the incumbent to be appointed, so it's futuristic, to be appointed would be on a 5-year, 5-year fixed term contract. The head of this department, remember they were forming a new department. So they were saying that then the head of this department would be appointed on a 5-year fixed term contract to secure the independence of the position. And that's why then if you go on paragraph 3.7, the first bullet, it tells you that the recruitment of the unit head, that's where General Sibiya was, that one was underway. So they were separating these two positions so that you are clear that the head of department will be on a 5-year contract, but there's going to be a unit head who's being recruited.
Earlier you said that you've submitted your complaints to the MEC and you've submitted to the, if I remember well,
Speaker,
and to you've spoken about who?
Shamila Batwe and Fani Masemola.
Yes, and in fact, I'm not sure where I said in the office. The former NPA, NDPP, am I right?
Yes, so I shared the same statement that you have here. I've provided it to them because I consider that the evidence is complete for action to be taken.
Now, you didn't get help.
Well, Honorable Skhosana, I will say because it was end of November, then there was December month. Maybe the help is coming in January. Because normally December and January is a flat month in government. So I want to give them a benefit of the doubt.
So in your testimony, you said that General Sibiya was appointed before. In fact, he was appointed. let me put it like that. You said that with what you presented to us here, the position which he ended up being, it didn't exist before. Am I right?
Yes, there was he was recruited for a unit head under a JIRA's department. Whilst the recruitment process was ongoing, then they restructured JIRA's to form a new department called JIFIS.
Yes.
So by the time the recruitment process is concluded, then there's a new department where he should belong. But he's still going to go in as a unit head because the head of that department will be on a 5-year fixed-term contract. And Sibiya was appointed permanently as a unit head.
Now, that position was not advertised.
No. What happens is that in the report of January 2017, suddenly Sibiya is signing using a bogus title of a commission. So he's calling himself the head of this department.
Before he was appointed into that position.
That's how he becomes. He declares himself one. I mean, that's crazy. You declare yourself something and then you become. Where have we ever had something like that?
No, ngesikhathi leso umeyala bekungubani? Umpophalathe bekungubani umeyala leso sikhathi?
It was Mayor Herman Mashaba.
And leso sikhathi bekasathwala ikepisi le DA, am I right?
I can't recall. I think he was still part of the administration of the DA.
Hey, yathusa man. Umuntu uthola iposo anikelwe. Kusho ukuthi ngamanye amagama wenzelwe yona leyo nto ibinga-advertiswa next.
Yes, remember in my evidence I said, it's my theory and I could be wrong. The legal opinion was accepted. The report of 4 November was signed, accepted. The legal opinion was accepted. The only problem here is that the guy failed the competence assessment. So he was not going to cut it if the position was advertised, period. Because he failed the competence assessment of a junior position. How was he going to pass a competence assessment of an HOD where we are all tested?
Now, was there a salary on that declaration? Because if I remember well, the salary which he was earning was 1.2 million. It ended up being 1.8 million.
So, but at the time when he declares himself as the head of department who is a commissioner, there's no salary. The salary comes in September. Once the job description was graded and it was found to be a job description of a head of department at 1.8 million, then it was implemented retrospectively for General Sibiya. So this is a fellow that comes in, earn 1.2 million, declare himself as a head of department, sits, signs a job description of a head of department, it goes and graded, then he gets the salary. And it gets retrospectively 1st of July 2017. So this is a guy who's at home.
Now, I'm going to take you, I think I've exhausted that. I'm going to take you to page 71, paragraph 10.2. In the respect of the above review findings and conclusions in relation to the alleged irregular and unlawful functioning and the intelligence gathering operation of Mr. Sibiya, which is General Sibiya, I guess.
Yes.
We recommended that the municipal council must take the following actions.
Yes.
That in line with Mr. Sibiya prima facie status as section 56 and 57, employee, the municipal council must authorize the city manager to appoint an independent investigator to investigate the continued employment of Mr. Sibiya without a top secret security clearance and should place Mr. Sibiya on immediate suspension pending the outcome of such investigation.
Yes.
What happened after this? I think a legal advice from the TZ attorneys.
So what happened is this. It doesn't get placed before council. Instead, Weber Wenzel are employed to come and counter. This is just an legal advice. This is a legal advice, an advisory report. You go and get another legal opinion to counter this legal opinion. That's the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens, they then get another lawyer, Mood and Robinson, to write another report criticizing this advisory report. How can you spend public funds on 2 lawyers to criticize the legal advice? Yep. And then again, Sibiya must go to court and try and stop what is clearly legal advice. That he must be investigated, he must be suspended. What was he scared of?
Now, in your view, Herman Mashaba and the executives who signed here committed fraud. Am I right?
If I'm going to declare you something that you are not, I know you are a unit head. I know I'm told there's a legal opinion that says I can't make you a group head, but I am prepared to allow you to sign a report together with us, pretending to be a group head of a commissioner.
Now,
you can't deny that we are all of us co-perpetrating fraud and corruption.
So, in other words, you are encouraging us to open a case against Herman Mashaba as well for fraud, like we did with General Sibiya.
No, the evidence is encouraging you. All I'm doing here is to place before you records with signatures of people, and I'm telling you what those records are saying. And what is nice about it, Honorable Skhosana, these records were placed in the public domain by General Sibiya himself when he went to the High Court. They are there. So all I'm doing is that I'm a canvas, a canvas on a ship. I'm just pointing to a direction. What you do about that is up to this committee, Honorable Chairperson, and its members.
Ngiyakuthokoza ukuthi mhlambe ke kwenza abantu ababhalako, because we were told many times sitshelwe kaningi ukuthi then former mayor was at Johannesburg was against corruption, but what you submitted to us here is contrary to all these allegations of praising Herman Mashaba as the corruption buster. Uthi kade silelwa amala la. Uthi kade sitshelwa amanga ngamanye amagama ngesiZulu. Sitshelwa amala iminyaka eminingi engikhulu. Nje-ke ngifuna ukukuthokoza begodi ngicolise ukuthi sihlelisa isikhathi njengoba ngikhe ngatsho ekuthomeni ukuthi lokhu ke kuzokwenza masprobe these matters City of Johannesburg, in particular uSibiya ke enamathela no Herman Mashaba nabanye abakhona la. Mara njengathi ke la sizokuzama ukuthi njengoba sikhe senza naphambilini iDA sayenza iDA sekubonakele ukuthi corruption into yabo. Ngiyakuthokoza no Herman Mashaba bebakhamba bonke amanye amagama ngithi man sithokoza kakhulu ukuthi usinikele into emnandi kangaka. Ngiyakuthokoza.
Yeah, if I may, as a last point, Chairperson.
No, his time has ended.
Ukuthi uthethe lendlela zokuthi uzositshela ke ngendaba kaSibiya ngoba in particular what you submitted to before us here is more about the irregularities of the appointment of General Sibiya. Am I right?
Yes, and also both at COJ and also as a Deputy National Commission.
Yeah. No ke. Yazi sisekingeni la. IsiZulu yasazi. Mina ngikhuluma isiLebele hle.
Ngiyakuzwa baba.
Hawa ngiyathokoza mongizwa ngizoyibamba net lapho. Qala musi silange ukuthi ngezi6 zango February.
Yes.
uGeneral Mkhwanazi waya lapha watshela ababiki bendaba ukuthi kunomraro lapha esipoliseni nesole Africa into azikhambi kuhle ngoba weza la ku portfolio committee yethu esipoliseni wasibikela mara ke sakhamba kancane okwenza ukuthi sifike la sikhona namhlanje. Mina ngifuna ukukuthokoza nje ukuthi kunama signatures lana esiwabonileko. Ngizokumixa kancane ngoba fanele basilandele nesikhethu isi. Fanele basilandele. Ukuthi uphema ufaka izinto la. Wabeka ukuthi kunento eziningi ezisayinweko lapha. Engicabanga ukuthi angeke sakhona ukuphikisa. Bengibone nenye la isignature umunye wabhala mhlambe wakhohlwa ukufaka idate. Ngokwakho ukwazi ngoba uberegile noSibiya if ngikakubuza uGeneral Sibiya. Ubereke naye eCity of Johannesburg.
Yes, since when I arrived in 2018 November up until I left end of June 2022. So 4.5 years or so.
So makafikako into le abayibiza ngokuthi i-competency test. Honorable Shongo wambuza la ngicabanga ukuthi mhlambe wayibona. Wena ngokwazi kwakho into zakhamba kuhle kusho ukuthi kwalandelelwa indlela ekwenziwa ngayo i-competency test le. And ukubuza mhlambe direct question. Wayiphasa le competency test according to nina manithola i-respond from SSA because ngiba abantu engicabanga ukuthi bane competence yokuqala abantu masifika endweni leyo.
No. He received a negative result on the competency assessment. And there's a jurisprudence in this regard. A High Court in Grahamstown, 2 judgments of the High Court are clear in the case of Morane versus Buffalo City, 2 judgments of the High Court. If you get the type of result.
Just a moment, the hand of Honorable Solis is up.
Thank you very much, Chair. May I please have someone to sit next to me and interpret? I'd like to understand the questions that are being posed. I made the request before. There's still no interpreters. May you kindly make provision, Chair. I would like to understand what my honorable astute colleague is asking. Thank you.
Yeah, the people responsible for those services are not here today. I think they were. Let me tell you, the last time the matter was raised, I got confirmation that they were made available. They came, they spent a week with us. There was no need for them. And no, I'm honest. Yeah, look, you honorable members, it depends on you. If you decide to speak in vernacular one week and the other week you because they were there last week after the matter was raised. I got the 2 names which were confirmed that the people were available. For sure, you would know, even in one of the sessions, you would have overheard in the system that those services were being provided. Yeah, and then the next thing, we go for the whole week without anybody speaking vernacular. There is no person who can come to hang like clothes in a washing line. So maybe, and even this morning, since we started, there was never any necessity for. Can we proceed the way we proceeded in the morning and conclude this last part of the proceedings as a belief?
Ngiyathokoza mgcini isihlalo. Ngiza ukuthi ke nje ke ngibethe ngesikhuwa ngoba ngathi kunenkinga mara ke akuthwengi. Let me but I'll mix because ngifuna nabantu bekhaya abanye.
Honorable Solis, can I interpret the part that he has said?
Honorable Chair, I shall rather just leave it because it's not because I'm trying to be funny. I want to participate in the proceedings. And so I understand the dilemma, but then it is very wrong to then not be consistent with speaking in vernac. It's a waste of resources. So if there was consistently spoken in English all the other times, then it should continue now also, not because English is important.
Yeah,
but just so
no, yeah, the debate about languages cannot be overemphasized, but most interpreters, when they start, they say, him is saying. Him is saying that he thanks Mr. Mlandu, and then he will switch to English.
Thank you, Chair. Can I continue? ngizangimixa che ukuthi bakhona ukubamba bamba nalabo abamba khona.
Or you can
Now-
proceed, Honorable Member.
Thank you. Let me ask again, I'm not disrupted once again.